Hi friends, who is this movie for? Is it for the gay teenagers of the 2010s? Is it for the straight girls who were obsessed with gay people in the 2010s? The movie I'm referring to is GBF, which came out in 2013. GBF, if you don't know, stands for Gay Best Friend, and it's a coming-of-age comedy aimed to tackle the stereotypes of gay people and show everyone that you can be normal and gay at the same time. Whatever that means. My mission when watching this movie for the first time was to truly find out who this movie was for, because I don't even really know where to begin with this one. Ironically enough, for me, the movie's execution is something that I found genuinely offensive, which is pretty hard to do on this channel. My name is Casey, and this movie gave me E. coli. GBF was clearly intended to be a Can't Be Mean Girls inspired movie for gay people, and also an attempt to start a dialogue about how ridiculous the gay best friend trope is. But it was probably the most cringe-inducing experience I've had watching movies since I watched Sleepover, which says a lot. And if any of you have been here since Sleepover, you know what I'm talking about. I can appreciate everyone's original intent when putting together this lovely idea, but for me it fell flat in the worst possible way, and today I'm going to be discussing why. 2013, 2014 was a really weird time for me because I'm 17 years old seeing this version of my life portrayed in media catered to teenagers my age, but it was always far from realistic. I already know there's going to be some yahoos in the comments with some pitchforks and shitting themselves because they don't like my opinion about this movie. If you are one of those people, you should just get up and leave now. There are plenty of other videos to watch on this damn website. The main character of this movie is named Tanner, who is played by Michael J. Willett, and he's a gay teenager who has not come out of the closet yet. This movie alludes to this being set in a small town, but everything about this movie makes it seem like it's in Los Angeles. Tanner is also supposed to be straight passing. He's not one of the fabulous gay people. He supposedly acts and looks like any other straight guy.
Why not send out a mass text and be done with it? FYI, I like guys. Now let's never speak of this again.
Which is just so convincing. 2013 was also a time when the word homosexual was still widely used.
Never in the history of North Gateway High had any student admitted out loud to being an honest-to-goodness homosexual.
Like saying the word gay was uncomfortable for some people. I don't know. Tanner's friend, Brent, he is supposed to be quite the opposite of Tanner. When I say they ripped this look off my cold gay body, I couldn't be more serious. I lived this. I lived all of this. I had everything he's wearing. His other less important friends are Sophie and Glenn. This cast is so ridiculously large, and for no reason, because 90% of the characters actually don't need to be in this movie. Sophie and Glenn are unfortunately very irrelevant, and I specifically hate Sophie, but more on that asshole later. Brent is obsessing over this new 2013 trend called the GBF.
Is the GBF gay best friend?
This magazine talks about how every celebrity has a GBF, and Brent thinks that if he is the first openly gay guy at his school, then the popular girls will all fight for his attention.
And pretty soon, all 3 prom queen frontrunners will be battling it out for my attention.
I don't know why I'm supposed to care about that.
3 powerful cliques controlled North Gateway High, and the queen bitch from each ruled our school from nearly every direction.
At first I thought this extra was Brett Cooper, and then I searched 2012 Brett Cooper because I assumed this movie was probably filmed in 2012, and I found a biblically accurate Tina from Bob's Burgers. The first popular girl we meet is Caprice, who is supposed to be the leader of the school's minorities.
There's dominated as queen of drama, and our school's loose network of minority students.
Okay, whatever. This girl's name is Ashley, but she goes by Shlee, which is stupid. Shlee is the leader of the religious teens in the school, but I'm also not going to call her Shlee because it reminds me of Mr. Smee in Peter Pan. And finally, we have Fawcett, who is supposed to be the Regina George of this movie.
Fawcett loved fads and hated fatties.
Also, who here has gathered around a magazine to see what the new trends are? No, nobody. Which, by the way, is where Fawcett and the other girls discover what a GBF is. Later that day, Tanner whips out his new pear phone, or whatever they're calling the gay Temu Apple in this universe. Brent is like, oh my god, we have to download this gay dating app, because I guess the app doesn't work on Brent's phone because he is a brokey.
Yeah, and hetero buzzkill here totally block me. I'm not soiling my pristine phone with some big gay hookup app.
I need to talk about the dialogue in this movie because I found it incredibly annoying. 99% of everything they say is some kind of sexual innuendo, and I felt like every line of this movie was at a level 12. When it needed to be at a level 6, maybe. Glenn decides that he's going to overly explain what a dating app is.
It's the new app that lets gay guys find other gay guys through state-of-the-art, globally positioned technology.
We get introduced to even more new characters who are really, really irrelevant to the plot, one of which is played by JoJo. And not the JoJo who invented gay pop, but, you know, the JoJo that I impersonated in online chat rooms in 2006 for some reason. I still don't know why I did that. Here we see the school's Gay Straight Alliance, or GSA for short. What I've gathered from this conversation is that they can't continue to have their GSA and their school because all the members are straight people. Isn't that just so homophobic? JoJo is really distraught about all this because her entire personality revolves around being a gay ally.
It's about helping queer and questioning kids. It's all for the gays.
Which I can appreciate. You know, we need someone fighting for us in this country. Natasha Lyonne also plays a small part in this movie. I really think that she was underutilized because this woman is so hilarious. Fawcett overhears JoJo and she says that she has an idea on where to find gay people. And just as a light spoiler, it's going to involve the app that Brent wants to join. What do you think's gonna happen? So Tanner heads over to Brent's house after school, and Brent's mom is probably the only character that I unironically find funny in this movie. Brent turns on some royalty-free gay music and they have a little dance party. They're like jumping around like it's Sweet Life of Sean Cody or something. And I guess they had to warm themselves up before creating a profile on this gay dating app.
Oh, this be my jam. Woo!
Which I do not condone if you're a minor. And just a reminder that they're using Tanner's phone for this because I guess Brent's phone can't download it. Originally, Brent was going to use a photo of himself for his profile, but he opts to take a picture of Tanner's shredded abs instead. This felt gross, you know what I mean? Also, can we explain the random Drake reference?
Now let's see what the filthy gays of North Gateway think of them. You sure this is a good idea? Was Drake on Degrassi?
That's weird. I don't like Drake. So the next day at school, JoJo and the other girls that I don't know the names of, they're discussing their plan on how they're gonna find a gay person to join their club. And it's gonna involve using the Gaydar app. Do you see where this is going? You see how this is probably gonna be a problem? Probably. Claire, or whatever the fuck her name is. Sorry, Sophie. She's in the bathroom stall smoking a cigarette 'cause she's fucking dramatic. And she's hearing this conversation happen. She's like, oh my God, because they're planning on making fake profiles with celebrities as their profile pictures.
Mine's of Robert Pattinson's airbrushed torso.
Totally. And you've got Zac Efron.
If you were trying to lure a gay person to talk to you, wouldn't you want to use a picture of a non-celebrity so that the person thinks they're real? I don't know. It just seems like a flawed plan. Whatever. So Sophie is frantically texting Brent and Tanner, but they get caught with their phones in class, so it becomes ineffective. JoJo and her blonde friend, they're like actively tracking Tanner's profile in real time using a global positioning system, I guess. To the foot!
Got one! 4.95. He's 400 feet away.
Leading them to his classroom, almost like they're using a government version of Google Maps or something. Where do they get this technology? Because I can't even find my phone. So Tanner and friends, they're freaking out because JoJo is going to find Tanner's phone. They straight up interrupt the class and are led directly to Tanner's phone, which again isn't something that would be possible, but we'll ignore that detail. The teacher tells them that it's Tanner's phone, and JoJo just outs him in front of everyone, which she's never held accountable for, by the way.
You're the secret gay. But you're not even that fabulous.
And the truth is revealed.
Not fabulous, but yeah, I'm gay, I guess.
What a shocker. Who could have seen that one coming? So this is a huge problem for Tanner because remember, Brent was the one who wanted to come out. And he immediately deals with the repercussions. I mean, everyone is staring at him, and he has these 28-year-old football players giving him problems. They're like calling him a nerd and a dweeb and stuff, and ask if he's looking at their balls.
What are you checking out my balls?
Not their balls. Leave him alone. He's just a boy. JoJo and Sophie are arguing about who gets to be his friend or something. And then this sends Tanner over the edge because he's like, oh no, my life is changing. He goes and unleashes all of this bullshit onto Brent after school because he's claiming that his life is ruined because of Brent's actions. I don't know, you guys. It's probably common knowledge in this crazy universe that you could be tracked down to the inch on these dating profiles. So I feel like Tanner should have known that. I feel like the first person to blame would be JoJo. JoJo should 1000% be blamed for outing him in front of everybody. But the second person to blame would be Tanner for even agreeing to use his phone, even knowing the risk.
Wow, well, at least now I realize all you care about is yourself, you self-absorbed, gutless little Sorry, Mrs. Van Camp, but I'm allowed to use that word, seeing as how I am one, just like your son.
I hate Tanner. Normally something like this would be used for character development, right? But he truly doesn't learn anything for the rest of this movie. He is a self-absorbed prick. The narrative of Tanner's personality is so annoying because he's like, I'm not a regular gay. I'm not a stereotypical gay. I'm not fabulous. No one would have ever known if it wasn't for this. And he constantly puts himself on a pedestal because he's like better, because he's normal or something. Like, Tanner, do you want me to beat the shit out of you?
Do you want me to beat the shit out of you?
Tanner is also ignoring his friends, including Sophie, and she's just grilling him about how he treated Brent. She also points out that what Brent did was an accident.
I know you're a hustler, Brent, and honestly, I would be too. But what he did was an accident. Wait, really?
Even though Brent didn't do anything. Again, I'm not sure why we're not initially mad at JoJo for starting this whole fiasco and acting insane. So Tanner decides that he's just going to distance himself completely because I think that he is selfish, and my empathy only stretches so far for his situation. 28-year-old football bully comes out of the bushes and starts giving him problems when faucet comes to his defense.
You don't tell me what to do anymore. History. Now that's an appropriate word. Because that's what your sex life is going to be if you don't leave him alone. Touch him again, and you won't be able to get as much as a half-assed hand job from some flag-twirling color guard stink. Bitch.
I do remember popular girls coming to my defense whenever the straight guys wanted to, beat the shit out of me. They weren't clever, right? It was always, Brayden, stop! Brayden, leave him alone. He's just gay, please. So Fawcett asked to hang out after school because she really needs a GBF because they're like, commodity or whatever. But Tanner very quickly gets inundated by the two other popular girls wanting his attention for the same reason. So they're sitting there, they're all asking him questions that are supposed to make us, the gay people, roll our eyes because it's like, oh my God, listen to what these straight girls are saying.
Because we're doing the waves, and we're gonna need like as many minorities as we can get. I'm not much for the whole singing or dancing or... What gay stuff do you like?
And I guess the point is the point is to like point out all the ridiculous things that straight women like to ask gay people, which I guess, yeah, like I did find that kind of annoying. Like straight girls would initially get giddy and ask me weird questions, but I honestly valued the safe space I truly had around these women over dwelling on a few remarks that were not ill-intended for 16-year-olds to say. So the takeaway from this, though, is that all three of these girls want to use Tanner as a handbag, and they even take him to go shopping to get a makeover. A Glee makeover. Oh no, not the bow tie. Anything but the bow tie. Brent is super bummed about Tanner, and to make things worse, Tanner is now front runner for prom king. God, it's everything sucks. Did any gay people here ever care about prom? Because I thought it was just something that we went to by ourselves. I remember when one of the straight pick-me guys was like, "Aw, Casey, do you want me to slow dance with you so you don't feel left out at prom?" Because he wanted to impress like my girlfriends and stuff. And I just found that so like rude to just do that in public. Let me tell you something, Josh, if you're watching this, let me tell you something. You're rude, you're weird, you're creepy, you're a creepy little man with your Skechers and your weird looking pants that your mom bought you, and you look like Ellen. I don't want to dance with someone that looks like Ellen. What am I doing?
As for Queen, they got us in a three-way. Tie, that is. Most kids are undecided. They're waiting for you to tell them what to do. Me?
We also see JoJo again. And she really should just apologize, but she doesn't. She never apologizes. Instead, she's like, "Oh my God, Tanner, do you want to join the GSA?"
This is an A and gay conversation, so kindly see your next Tuesday out of it.
Kindly see your next Tuesday out of it. I don't know why every line in this movie has to be a mic drop moment. It's so excessive and it makes me overstimulated. You know what I mean? But Tanner is like, sorry, GSA is for losers. Brent is continuing to have a crisis because he lost his best friend and he hasn't taken a shower in 5 days or something. At least that's what his hair looks like. It doesn't matter. Anyways, his other two friends, they're tired of Brent being depressed and basically just tell him that he needs to get over it.
You and Tanner are falling out, but you're taking it kind of literally. Yeah, well, my life is over, so thanks.
Oh, come on, man. I mean, you still got the two of us.
For about 10 minutes, I never RSVP'd to a nonstop pity party.
Which is so up. Honestly, could you imagine being at your low point and your friends act like this?
So I'm bound to eternity in loser land with you two. Great.
And here, I thought we were all doing pretty okay, but I guess we aren't sparkly enough or have enough synthetic hair extensions for you.
Oh my god, Sophie, you know what I meant.
You know what? Why don't we take a few days apart, maybe without a couple losers like us hanging around? You'll ascend to your proper social station.
The next section of this movie feels like it went on for an eternity because it's just Tanner doing whatever these girls ask him to do. Fawcett has him giving her fashion advice in her bedroom, which to me looks like a film student movie set. It's giving cheap. I'm also getting some really heated energy from these two. Like they look like they're about to start making out. They look like they're about to kiss. Are y'all good? Do you need me to leave the room or something? Okay. He heads over to Ashley's house where her and her boyfriend make him dinner. The boyfriend, by the way, ends up SAing him in the car against his will, which isn't even the only scene where this happens. It's like one of the few things that I actually had a problem with. To make things worse, the movie makes Tanner do a T-bone walk out of the car instead of ever addressing how violating this is to happen to anyone. Because gay people always want to be secretly violated, right? Like we're always asking for it, you know what I mean? I don't know, it feels like this message is a little problematic, even if it's a joke. And my frustration comes with very real experiences that I will not be elaborating on, but I will say one thing. Don't fucking touch me. Caprice asks Tanner to hang with her at theater rehearsal, and he tries to hook Tanner up with one of her other gay friends for prom. At first I was like, oh, finally, an accurate thing that actually happens. But no. Her other gay friend wasn't repulsive and annoying, so that was not accurate at all. Wait, I just realized that Fawcett is the ice princess girl from Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I was like, why does this girl look familiar? What is she from? They all go to this party, all the girls and Tanner. I don't remember whose party it is. It doesn't matter. But I love watching the extras in the background holding empty cups and talking about their empty cups.
Ugh, tastes like ass.
Perfect for you.
Why do we get Sophie and Glenn show up, right? And they suddenly decide that they want to be Tanner's friend now and rescue him from the popular girls.
Now we have got to rescue Tanner from those gay snatching.
That's random, but okay. Brent, by the way, is watching Brokeback Mountain with his mom. And I loved the part where they didn't ask Brent if he also wanted to go to the party. To be fair though, I think that I would much rather watch Brokeback Mountain with this woman instead of go to that lame ass party with the empty cups.
Snuggle up for warmth. Here we go. Oh, uh-oh. Game on.
Tanner, I guess, had too many alcoholic drinks, and he meets Caprice's other gay friend who wants to go to prom with him. He's from England or something.
I mean, handsome. Pretty handsome. What's up, bro?
He's usually less special.
I was still watching the background extras more than anything though. After the party, Tanner drunkenly walks home and he sees Brent sitting outside his house. So they are both chatting it up. Brent obviously misses his friend. He's in a really vulnerable state, and Tanner had too much to drink, but I'm not sure if he knows that or not. But oh no, surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Tanner and Brent start kissing. Isn't that great? At first I was like annoyed, right? Because cool, okay? We cannot ever have platonic gay friends in movies, can we? I decided to keep an open mind because maybe this is where Tanner learned something, right? Wrong. Well, Brent and Tanner wake up in bed together. They're both freaking out because they don't remember what happened. I'm not sure if Brent was also drinking. It didn't look like he was, but Tanner's mom is actually walking up the stairs and they're both in their underwear, so they got to do something quick.
Honey, what was that? Nothing, I'm just cleaning up in here.
Tanner is like, dude, you gotta go. You gotta leave out the window. Brent was offended by this.
First you want to put me back in the closet, and now you want me to jump out your window?
I'll make it up to you, I swear. Yeah.
But as much as I hate Tanner, like, I'm sorry. Yes, Brent, you gotta sashay out the window. Like, you can't just leave out the main door. I'm sorry. You would think this would be on Tanner's mind on some level, but he quickly forgets when he goes to school because Caprice comes up and she's like, hey, Christian wants to go to prom with you. He really likes you. So Tanner takes himself and his stupid hat and he tries to put him and Christian on the list for prom, but he quickly gets halted by this girl who we saw earlier as Ashley's Mormon friends. She's religious. She's not really that relevant. You just have to know that she hates gay people. She's like, sorry, no gay people allowed.
Sorry, to get the couple special, you need to be a traditional boy-girl pairing.
You want me to fight this bitch, Tanner?
JoJo decides that she wants to be in the plot now and pops up out of nowhere. I don't know how they decide to just make characters show up again. She tries to further entice Tanner to join the GSA so that they can let gay people go to prom. I'm a little confused though, because I don't know why he can't just try and complain to the school's administration and see if that works first. Like maybe it won't, but you could at least try. So the girls and Tanner are all reflecting on this and talking about how stupid it is. I'm sitting here wondering if they even go to school, right? Because I've seen them go to class maybe once. Tanner says he's considering joining the GSA, but they all tell him that he's lame for wanting to do that. And then he has this realization where he understands that they're just using him instead of actually caring about him.
Do you guys really claim to be my friends? You focus a little less on how much I match your outfit on any given day and show some concern for my freaking equal rights.
So Tanner goes to the GSA club and he tells everybody there about the prom incident, how he was being discriminated against because he wants to take Christian to prom. But who walks into the GSA club other than Fawcett, who suddenly decides that she wants to be an ally? JoJo does not want Fawcett there.
Miss Hogle, this is my thing, you know? She has things.
So she tells her to get out. I was really prepared for the GSA's solution to be somewhat like my original suggestion, right? But no. Fawcett has this brilliant idea that she is going to have her very own prom and get people to go to that one instead of the main prom, which just seems so incredibly complicated and unnecessary. Caprice confronts Tanner after the GSA meeting because according to the school's newspaper, he supposedly endorsed Fawcett as prom queen, and his opinion holds weight on that subject for some reason. You know what we haven't addressed yet? Tanner and Brent's love affair? The surprise love affair and possible one-night stand. Glenn runs up to Brent and fills him in on the drama between Tanner and that Mormon girl. He mentions the whole fiasco because Tanner wanted to take a boy to prom. Brent assumes that Tanner wanted to take him to prom. You see where this is going? Brent runs up to Tanner and his face is all lit up because he thinks he's going to prom with his best friend. It's gonna be great. And that's quickly crushed when he realizes that Tanner is going to prom with a stranger.
It's not fair. We should be treated like everyone else. I mean, gotta ask me first. What are you talking about? You and me. Prom. Caprice set up this thing with her friend. Whoa. Who said anything about us going to prom?
So where do we go from here? Well, Brent and Caprice quickly team up because Caprice wants to sabotage Fawcett and Brent wants revenge on Tanner for being an asshole. So how do they do that? They put together some plan where they're gonna like dump glitter on him or something. So if this isn't confusing enough already, Brent is now officially Caprice's gay pet, but also he's not out yet. And they're both campaigning for people to join the school's main prom that's promoting traditional values. Across from the main prom table is Fawcett's pride prom, except Fawcett is policing who gets to come and who can't.
This being an indie operation, we've got very limited space.
This is the cool gay prom, and there's no losers or dweebs allowed.
By the way, did they change the official prom song to Trapped in the Closet just for you? Nice try, lesbian. But I know for a fact that my boo Brent is as straight as they come. Like Kanye or Diddy.
Oh, I didn't like that line. Also, Sophie just has performative diarrhea coming out of her mouth 24 hours a day, even though she probably is the most irrelevant character in this movie. What is she saying now?
We wouldn't come if you paid us, Fawcett. Or should I say fascist?
Look, all I'm saying is that a plumbing related joke would have been a lot funnier. And we don't see a single plumbing related joke with Fawcett's stupid name. Sophie does strike a nerve in Tanner when she points out that both Tanner and Brent are being used by these girls. So Tanner storms off. He's like, I don't want to do this anymore. Fawcett attempts to backpedal and suddenly she decides that she cares about Tanner, except she doesn't actually apologize for anything. Instead, she cries about the school not liking her and whines about having nothing.
I rule with the popular kids, but the other 90%, the rest of the school just think I'm a soulless bitch.
And apparently that this is enough for Tanner to just pledge his allegiance to Fawcett.
You let everyone come to the alternate prom, and I'll make sure that you get that crown.
I mean, maybe they're good for each other because they just don't like apologizing. Oh, and that Mormon guy from earlier assaults Brent in the utility closet. But even though Brent was saying no, he really meant yes.
Sloppy seconds. I have too much self-respect now, if you'll excuse me.
At least that's what this movie seems like it was trying to portray. Nothing wrong with that at all. The religious prom people decided to market their prom by putting up offensive posters. This pisses off the school's administration and they cancel the main prom for this because they don't stand for hate, right?
I'm just gonna cancel prom.
Oh, wait, no.
Fawcett's prom is still happening because it doesn't promote hate, but they're also excluding people from showing up. And I'm just confused because it's almost like they could have just complained to the principal and none of this would have happened. This movie makes the conflicts way too complicated than they need to be. So now the only prom that is actually happening is the one organized by Fawcett. But now suddenly everyone can go. You see what I mean? This is also confusing. But does it really matter? I don't think it does. Well, everyone, it's the night everyone has been waiting for. And by everyone, I mean no one, including me. And I gotta say, they couldn't have picked a more hideous dress for Fawcett to wear. It's just bad looking. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just bigoted. Maybe I'm the asshole.
The bottom line is, your mom loves you very much. Like, crazy a lot. Like, to the point where it's...
Sophie is watching a horror movie in her shitty living room instead of going to prom because she's better than everyone else. Glenn shows up dressed to go to prom. Glenn convinces Sophie to go with him because he wants her to cover prom in the school's newspaper. I didn't know Sophie covered the school's newspaper. Does that mean that she's been writing newspaper articles about Tanner? Whatever. Over at prom, Brent is with the guy from earlier, the Christian guy. And I guess Fawcett is the third wheel. And that's just kind of weird to me. Like, is she just gonna be hanging out with them? The depiction of this 2013 prom is probably the most inaccurate thing in this movie because they're actually dancing. People didn't dance at prom in 2013. I don't know if they dance now. They grinded, which is like dancing, except you stand right up against your partner and both of you start moving together like windshield wipers. The popular girls face off alongside their GBFs because they are all after the prom queen crown. Brent and Tanner don't say anything to each other. They just kind of like stare at each other awkwardly. So wait, is this Fawcett's prom that she just set up? I'm asking because everything just seems extremely well thought out and organized. They're clearly at an expensive venue. Okay, whatever. I think I'm just gonna pretend that this is regular prom just to keep myself at peace. Christian comes up to Tanner in the hallway. He's acting all flirty. He's being a whole ass horn dog right now. He wants to leave so that they can touch each other's bow ties or whatever. Tanner is like, I'm sorry, no, I want to stay because I do not want to leave my best friend Sink Fawcett. But he's like, I'm not leaving. Christian, who is unsatisfied with that, he leaves, which also confuses me because why did he show up in the first place if you were just going to leave? Tanner, who is now all alone and without a date, he's just minding his own business when Sophie jump scares him, acting like they're still friends. Except they interact as if they see and talk to each other every single day and that they don't have any bad blood. I hate both of them. They both annoy the shit out of me. Am I overreacting? Doesn't matter because I don't care if I am. Tanner decides that now he wants to confide in this attention-seeking mouth breather, and he goes on about how he focused way too much on being the gay best friend and not enough on how to be a normal gay.
I guess I spent all this time being a GBF and never actually learned how to be a real live gay.
Not one of the fabulous ones, though. And then he kind of acknowledges how shitty it was for him to abandon his friends, as if Sophie wasn't arguably worse. As far as I'm aware, Brent is on an island by himself. So we get to the crowning moment, which is still something that I haven't been convinced that I need to care about. Tanner and Fawcett win, so they walk up to accept their crowns. Tanner gives this speech that is supposed to complete his character arc, right? But the problem that I have with this speech is that he doesn't apologize. You know what that is? Apologizing? Do you know what that is, Tanner? No, you don't.
And I had a best friend who I shared everything with. And all I want is, I'd give anything to just be his loyal sidekick again.
The closest he gets to apologizing is saying that he wants his friends back. Is that an apology? I don't think so. But remember when I talked to you guys about Brant and Caprice dumping glitter on them to, I guess, embarrass them at prom? I don't know. He just takes one for the team. Apparently, him getting dumped with glitter, this was his way of coming out, as if that makes any sense at all. But the narration tells us that that was his way of coming out, so I guess I'm supposed to just accept it. Christian hooks up with Brock Turner, so good for them, I guess. The movie ends with Tanner and Brent having the cringiest conversation, and the takeaway is that they have just decided to be friends.
Maybe we'd last a few months, like a year, and then what? Then we go to college, and then I cheat on you, and it's awkward, and I lose you forever.
Mind you, no apologies were made at all, even though Tanner treated his best friend like shit from start to finish in this movie. The movie ends with some epilogue updates that aren't even funny enough to discuss, to be honest with you, so I want to tell you all about my actual thoughts of this movie. The takeaway here, I hate it. I really had to ask myself, who was this movie intended to be for? And my only answer to that at this very moment is gay teenagers. If we're gonna make a dialogue about gay teenagers living in a town that doesn't have any openly gay people in it, the least you could do is send out some kind of survey to the teenagers that live in those towns and ask what it's actually like. Because it feels inaccurate. And I think at a baseline, the GBF idea did not need to be the entire plot of the movie, right? Because the GBF trope, to me, is more metaphorical than it is literal. It's this feeling of, oh, okay, you're just using me for entertainment. I'm like a dancing monkey to you or something. But this movie takes that trope literally to the point where everything the characters say and do revolves around this issue, which is part of something much bigger than that. Because of that, the entire subject of this movie falls flat. And that makes the conflicts of this movie seem extremely uninteresting because they are, as if the plot alone wasn't boring enough, because it's terrible execution. It's like you're making a joke out of what you think my life is like. You get what I mean? Anyways, that's all for today's video. And remember that my opinion doesn't actually matter unless you want it to. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.